Cue the music.
My name Kodak Black, but when you see me, I'm blind. Burn a lot of money and I smoke a lot of spice. I bring the biggest gun to the knife fight.
I'm Marquez. Yes to you, boy.
My name Kodak Black, but when you see me, I'm blind. Burn a lot of money and I smoke a lot of spice. I bring the biggest gun to the knife fight. My name Kodak Black, but I might fuck your white wife. My name Kodak Black, but when you see me, I'm blind. Burn a lot of money and I smoke a lot of spice. I bring the biggest gun to the knife fight. My name Kodak Black, but I might fuck your white wife.
Get that anti-African bullshit out my face. Get that anti-African bullshit out my face. You have cooned so bad, my brother. You're showing me how unserious you are.
My bad, Umar.
They damn near need to put your face in the dictionary next to the word coon. And I don't mean no disrespect, my brother. If you are a coon, super coon, Negro in training, jump off. This is only for Africans. The training is only for Africans. You may not bring your white wife. You may not bring your white wife. You may not bring your white wife. If you bring a non-African, you and the non-African will be escorted out my training. If you bring a non-African, you and the non-African will be escorted out my training. Dr. Umar, my brother loves white women. How can I redeem him? Don't redeem him. Release him to the bunny brigade. Don't save the snow bunny lover. We got to stop trying to save the snow bunny lover. If your brother is addicted to the bunny, send him to the bunny brigade.
What's the bunny brigade?
Send his ass to the ice storm. Send him to the snowstorm. Don't try to save your brother. Give him to the snow bunny mafia. Let that Negro go free. The whole movie was about her chasing down and thirsting after the Caucasian. That was the whole movie.
I would know. I didn't watch the movie, so I'm learning for the first time.
Whole damn film. How could you take your daughter to see that? Black fathers. How could you take your daughter to see that?
Southern police.
Black mothers. How could you take your daughter to see that? The whole film was nothing but an interracial thirst fest. That was the whole film, brothers and sisters. The whole film. She left the water kingdom. The Little Mermaid abandoned the water kingdom so she could sleep with white flesh. She left. And how did she have a white father?
What you gotta say?
How did she have a white father, but the white boy had a black mother? Somebody help me understand. Help me understand. Help me understand. How did she have a white father, but the white boy had a black mother? He was not mixed race, and the mother was richly melanated. So somebody's going to have to help me understand. How did he have a richly melanated black mother, but he was pure Neanderthal? Can someone help me out? Make it make sense, brothers and sisters. Make it. They had the Asian rapper playing the ghetto bird. They had a ghetto bird in there. Always got to have a little ghetto animal. They always put ghetto animals in the black cartoon movies. They always put ghetto sounding, talking animals in the black cartoon movie. So the bird was ghetto, but she was played by an Asian rapper. A ghetto black bird voiced by an Asian rapper.
I didn't watch
a ghetto black bird voiced by an Asian rapper. And then the blackest character in the movie was Sebastian, the damn STD crab. The blackest character in the movie was an STD crab, Sebastian. Sebastian was the blackest character in the movie, and he was an STD crab. An STD crab. and STD Crab, and he was played by the mixed race brother. He was played by the mixed race brother. They had Halle Bailey's skin bleached so light. I don't know what kind of makeup they put on that girl. They had her trying to look as white as they can make it. Then she had blonde hair. And when she left the water kingdom and got on the land, she had blonde locks. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. The whole movie was about her stealing the heart of the snow puppy. The whole movie was about her stealing the heart of the snow puppy.
Yeah. And for y'all who don't know that reference, bro, that's back to like what Umar Johnson was. I think he was beefing with. What was the guy's name? I think some dude named Seti. And yo, Umar Johnson. He, right? He acted like somebody called him, right? So he was answering the phone and he was like making it seem as though these were his goons that were calling him. He was like, nah, don't worry about this, man. Nah, it's cool, man. I got this. Yeah, nah, I'm gonna handle it. And you know, while he's talking to them, his fucking phone went off. His ringtone went off. And you could just see the awkward look and shape on his face. Umar be fronting sometimes, but that shit was hilarious.
And then they finally kissed at the end. I don't need my daughter watching that. I don't need my daughter watching that. This was a propaganda movie to tap into the imagination of young black girls. This was nothing but Meghan Markle and Prince Harry for children. That's all this was. This was nothing but Meghan Markle and Prince Harry for children. That's all this was. This was nothing more than Meghan Markle and Prince Harry for children, brothers and sisters. The whole movie was about a black girl living in the water, thirsting for a white man on the land. She gave up her gills. She gave up her damn fins. She gave up everything to chase that damn
Disney movies when I was a kid.
milk of magnesia.
Yeah, but we're gonna move on to something a little more serious. You feel me? It's related to, as you can see on the title, uh, Dr. Umar Johnson's perspective on the rap industry, hip hop culture, and so forth. And honestly, I share some of the same thoughts that he has in regards to the institution of hip hop. And I'll share a little bit of my own intake after he speaks.
Hip hop has been around for 50 years. Not a single hospital, not a single school, not a single bank.
No, it's not funny, bro. But like, when Umar snaps, that should just be having me weak, bro. Oh man.
Not a single supermarket, not a single distribution company. How can we call hip hop a blessing to the black community when that type of money being made off of our culture and the community doesn't benefit from it at all?
Facts.
So you come to the community and give out a few turkeys. You come to the community and give out a few pair of sneakers.
And that's crazy, bro. Like R.P. Dolph, but that's how he died too. Like, bro was just coming back to the town, hand out a few turkeys and whatnot, tried to show some love, and unfortunately, you guys know what happened. If you didn't, he was murdered. In fact, there's a court case going on right now, where his murderers, are kind of telling on each other and whatnot. I'm gonna make a video about that sometime soon. But yeah, man, like I totally agree. Like, they poison the youth. As a matter of fact, I don't even listen to rap music anymore. Like, I just had to stop. Like, because I can't have these views and then be hypocritical and still be listening to the music and, engaging in it and whatnot. So, yeah, again, I just think that's a mantle that others should take as well. Not forcing it on anybody. When the time's right, I guess people will adapt or will make that conscious choice on their own, just as I did. I didn't do this just like 5 years ago, 10 years ago. It's a choice that I recently took. maybe about a year ago. So I just think it's really embarrassing and it's dishonest. It really is. To see these rappers, who speak nothing but negativity, and then have the youth who look up to them, and in fact make them their role models, because we come from poverty-stricken environments, and so when we see others make it, um, we not only applaud them, but we wish to be like them and follow suit. It's almost like motivation, but at some point you have to value at what cost did it take this individual to make it, and then you weigh the two. And if the misfortune that comes from that in regards to you and your community, the youth, as a result of the influence um, caused by the affluence of these rappers, then yeah, man, you gotta take a stand. I don't think it's right, for people to be rapping about killings, murders, and all this extra stuff, popping pills like it's cool and all this. But meanwhile, you have little kids who don't know any better, who are young and impressionable, who end up getting caught up and unfortunately lose their lives either to the streets, to the penitentiary system, um, or even to like drugs. We recently just lost a rich homie Quan. In fact, I think they came out with a more detailed report as to what he died from. Some of it included fentanyl, but yeah, let's carry on.
You come to the community and you throw a couple parties, and in exchange for some damn turkeys and chickens and some sneakers, you push death and destruction on our children for a living, and we're supposed to be okay with that because you dropped off some clothes and some turkeys. It's not acceptable until hip hop begins to be a blessing for the black community. Hip hop is an agent of white supremacy. And then the rapper will say, well, we didn't invent violence. You're right. You didn't invent violence. There was gang banging before hip hop. Okay. There was drug dealing before hip hop. There was black on black crime before hip hop. But let me tell you where hip hop is guilty. Hip hop glamorized it. Hip hop glorified it. Hip hop put a spotlight on negative aspects of black culture.
And in fact, it's worse than that because there isn't even a way to kind of manage, right? There's no restrictions when it comes to hip hop. It's almost like it's a bunch of people who just are trying so hard to be the best, so hard to find the buzz, that when one particular rapper finds a buzz in a particular niche, like we saw with Chief Keef, when he first jumped on the scene, and it was he was rapping all this drill music, and they caught on with the youth obviously because, and I was one of those youths, like we were kids in the hood and whatnot, seeing Chief Keef, right? Like it was amazing. He was young, we connected with him and so forth, but uh, the more mature minds and voices in the hip hop community did absolutely nothing. Like, and perhaps in their way they thought it was just a positive thing to do to step out the way and then let the youth have their moment. But there should have been some type of communication, but there's none of that. In our culture, it's like the older dudes ain't mentoring the young dudes. There's a disconnection there. And so once that happened, we seen how it led to where we are today, right? From the early 2012 all the way on to now. It's been over 12 years. And what influence has that Chicago drill rap music have had on our community and on hip hop as a whole? Now you're hearing New York drill, Philly drill, and the language, smoking my ops. This is a so and so pack. All that foolishness that used to take place in Chicago all of a sudden became mainstream. And the youth, the new generation that were coming up just slightly under the Chief Keefs, under us for instance, are now speaking like that, are now rapping like that. It's the new cool thing. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. And it's what happens when we just let our culture run rampant. There's no way for us to guide the culture itself. Hip hop culture. There's just none. And so that's a problem. And then we're wondering why we got 14-year-olds dying in New York. We got 14-year-olds dying in Chicago. And that's one thing that pains me about our community. We're so reactionary. Like, Like, we don't have the time and sense to say, nah, this isn't the way, this is gonna influence us negatively, this is gonna impact the children. We can't have this in our community. We don't stand up for anything. As long as we just see people winning that are similar skin color, we're mute. We don't say a thing. Like, it's, but that's not admirable. That's not admirable. You would not admire a man who pimps out his own sister or who pimps out his own mother, but becomes rich as a product of that type of behavior. You wouldn't. It's illogical. But yet we do the exact same thing with some of these rappers. Like he said, death and destruction. They're selling out the youth. Their lyrics have a direct impact on how the youth behaves. And they're not leading them in the right direction. Instead, the kids are picking up guns. They want to be gangster. They want to be official. And so you see how that ends. What price are some of these up-and-coming rappers, up-and-coming artists willing to pay in order to achieve stardom? The souls of your children, the souls of the future generation. And at the same time, they're empowering these rich millionaires, billionaires, the CEOs of private prisons and so forth. The CEOs who are running the hip-hop industry also benefiting off of that. Black death, destruction, degeneracy all over the place. And I'm gonna make a couple of more videos actually, speaking on examples of this degeneracy. The Cardi B and Offset situation. She's saying a bunch of stuff that should be kept offline and private. Why are we putting it out for the world? And then you got a bunch of young ladies who are fans of Cardi B, who love her music, perhaps admire her because of her physique and so forth, who are riding with this behavior. And guess what? They too will emulate that behavior. And there you have it, a recipe for disaster and degeneracy. The stuff we're seeing with P. Diddy right now, another video I'll be making. It's unbelievable. Yeah, we allow it. We're quiet, we're mute. We even have some people trying to defend Diddy right now. It's insane.